My name is Nitin Gupta. I work for Google, and Google is a very known name, I believe, in India. So I look after the government business, in Google Cloud, and I handle education, skilling department, work with AICTE, NCRTs of the world. Today I will be talking about Google, what is Google doing in education, and then I will talk about a bit on AI, since I've been hearing since morning, we have different perspectives on how to use AI, should we use AI, should we not use AI, how does our student use AI, how our educator should be using AI. And, as we get to see the, implementations of AI global scale, and we learn from countries which are, a bit more progressive, in terms of adopting AI and how they have been transforming their institution, their education segment. So we'll talk about some of those as well. So I'll quickly just talk about um, the offerings which Google has. So this is, Google for Education. I don't know how many of you are aware, but I'm sure everybody have, or at some point in time, have access to Gmail, right? I mean, that's the default email we have. Personal emails we use Gmail for. Um, Google has an offering called Google for Education, where we provide all these tools which are listed on this slide deck, as part of the package, where the student and the educator both have benefits in terms of their identity. You can have identity for each of your student. When we talk about identity, it is a very understated thing. And college realizes, or the school realizes, that if they have to reach out to their alumni, they don't have their email addresses. And now, if somebody is doing very good work, I am seeing people, colleges are looking at their students on the LinkedIn to reach out to them. I mean, when they had 4 years to have their identity, and if the identity was provided by the school or college, it is one, the student always use that, for his, personal work also. And it remains with him that he has been passed out of this university when he has to give his personal email letters to somebody. And the college always has a powerful mechanism to reach out to those students who are doing really good, and to call them back in the campus and to kind of motivate the other students. So the identity is where it all starts. And then once you have the identity, I was listening that they were talking about regulated learning, they about learning from each other. Once you have that identity, then only this all can happen, because then the students and the educator can talk in a more regulated way. Education or educator or a teacher will get to know what the student is doing. We have something called Chromebook, which is a very low-end, powerful device, which universities can offer to their student, and that becomes their virtual classroom or their virtual campus. Because the moment the Chromebook the student opens, he logs into that from his identity. The college or the university has a mechanism to track that, okay, how much time the student is spending on the curriculum, what kind of content he is looking at, what kind of problems he is solving. And then from there, he can predict, or the student or the teacher can predict, what is the likely chance of this student getting dropout, or what are the likely chances of that student not scoring that marks, or what is that student doing differently which can be made learn to the other student, because there is a track, there is a pattern happening. So from the Chromebook itself, the entire monitoring, entire tracking, entire regulation happens. And then, you have these slides, you have virtual classrooms, you have learning management system, which a university can practically implement at a very minimal cost. And then, the entire campus can become digital. Your attendance can happen, your trainings can happen, your classrooms can happen, your assignments can happen, student can submit the assignment, and these are all almost like a Gmail tool. All are very simple to use. It's just that somebody has to just go out and kind of roll them out in their campus or in their colleges or universities. So this is what Google for Education offers, for every university, whether it is public or private or schools. Now, I'll talk about the AI part of it. And from the AI, you have heard of something called Gemini, which is equivalent of ChatGPTs of the world, but it has both the versions which are publicly available for free, and the one which you have, which you can subscribe as a paid subscription for by paying monthly or the yearly fees. And then you have something called Gemini for Enterprise, which is a version which only works on your data. Like this ChatGPT and this Gemini, which is publicly available, will let you search from what is available on the internet, or it will let you search from the content which you will upload onto the tool, and then it will allow you to search. But imagine if you have textbooks, if you have college, if you have student data, and if you have exam data, if you know, and this is like in every library, in every institution, this is available physically or digitized. If you imagine that the tool AI can let you search or let you summarize, let's say, how was your results of your 12th grade last year versus last 5 years? What was the track where students were performing better in chemistry? Were they also performing better in maths? And this data is not available publicly, right? This data is your data, which is available to that institution. And you don't want to share that data any which ways, let's say. But on that, if you want to bring AI, it can happen with the enterprise version, with minimal coding, with minimal customization, and that's where the power gets unlocked. I don't know how many of you are aware that Google last year has created a Gemini Pro offer for our students which are 18 plus, and for the eligible colleges, the Pro version is costing 20,000 rupees, 19,600 or something. It has been made free for those students who are applying from their personal email addresses, and giving the email ID which is given them by the institution, or by uploading their student IDs or other proofs. So that offer is still there. If you are part of those colleges and universities where you want to kind of give this offer, we can share the link after the presentation. It is ending on 31st January 2026. So we have few days left. Please encourage your students to apply, and they will get the full power of the professional version, which is no limit in terms of how much prompt you want to give, how much deep research you want them to make, and unlock at least for 1 year. For students which are under 18, there is a program called, again, Google for Education, where we give school, and we enroll the school in that program, and then the student get free access to Gemini, which is part of Google Workspace. So these are the two offers which are anyways available. Now coming to the general aspect of the AI part of it. So I've been hearing again, that AI, and Vishal has spoken that AI has made them less. IQ has something you said, you have lost 5 points on the IQ. But imagine that when we had no transportation and we used to walk, only by walking we have to cover the distance. We were very fit. But when the transportation mechanism came and we started to save time, but at the same time we became fatter, or obesity happened, should we blame transportation for that, or should we blame ourselves that we are not doing enough exercise? So AI, no, I'm not blaming, I'm giving an analogy. So if AI is going to be there, it's not going to take away jobs. Like today in our corporate world, we keep on hearing because of AI the jobs are going. I mean, you can put it that way, but with the invention of AI, there is so much of new jobs are getting created. Let's say last year, in the Nobel Prize winner was one of the Googlers who actually unlocked the understanding of protein cells in our body, which was the most toughest complex problem to solve. From last 50 years, scientists were not able to solve that problem, that they wanted to understand the structure of the protein, and for understanding the structure, they want the 3D image of that protein needs to be understood, and the way protein is, it gets folded into billions of layers. So now with the AI, AlphaFold, the name of the AI which he created, is able to just give the recipe of the protein at a very high accuracy. It creates the 3D image of that protein. Now imagine how many new disease which can be cured, and how many new medicines can be created. Now imagine if the new medicine need to be created, you need more doctors, you need more physicians, right? So AI is creating more jobs ultimately, because now you have potential which was never existed, right? So this is the way you can look at it. It's not a choice, basically. Like the way in 1995, when internet happened, everybody was scared. Oh, now all the information is lost. Now, what will happen? But then, has internet done more wrong than good? I believe it has done more good than wrong. It is ultimately, the choice is in our hands, how we want to use the technology, and how much, in a better way we want to use the technology. And one last thing, let's say, you can look at, I don't know how many of you have heard, there is something called classic AI, and there is something called generative AI. So AI has two aspects of it. Like the way our brain has a left brain and a right brain. The left brain functions in a more logical way, more problem solving in a more linear way. Like if somebody is solving an algebra problem, it's more logical, it's more factual, it's predictive, it is being understood that 2 plus 2 is 4. So if, let's say, your left brain gets free, and the job is being given to the AI assistant, to the virtual assistant, which is not doing anything great, but doing logical thinking and getting you more work, and getting you more time. Where the right brain you can use, which is more creative. Let's say if a student in the classroom is looking at a map, India map, he's not just learning the names of the states. He's not just learning that, okay, Andhra Pradesh on that side or this side. He is looking at and imagining the trade routes. It is imagining that, okay, how the cultural differences can be covered, how the language barriers can be solved. So that is generative thinking. That is the thing which is letting him imagine. So that is where the AI comes in. That is where the real power of AI comes in, and the human brain gets unlocked, and the creativity starts happening. So think in that way that, okay, AI is classic and generative. If all the rudimentary work can be given to AI, that is not something going to take away our jobs. It is not going to make us lethargic. It will only let us have more time, where we can use this time to be more creative and do something more meaningful, which kind of really contribute and which is more essential to us. So thank you for listening to me. I hope it was good use of your time.